Okay, so for my speech today, I have my mom and Juan. Show Juan, Mom. And then my boyfriend Marquise. And then my sister's husband Jay. And then Cecilia is my sister, and she's gonna be my model today. Okay. So then you can turn it around. So, got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the title of my speech is Social Arts History on Braiding. There has been many influential hairstyles throughout each era. However, braids have been a sample style in the history of braids for what seems like forever. Braiding originated from African women, men, and children. Throughout the 1500s, it was used in ways and indications of a person's tribe, their wealth, religion, marital status, and even age. Within slavery, women used braiding as a way of bonding traditions, to protect their hairstyles when they worked, and even twined grain into the braids for survival. Modern expressions and styles have changed, but the patterns are still the same. With the help of social settings like Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, braiding has evolved over time. There have been many different techniques for braiding, but the three most common methods to perform are the classic braid, the French braid, and the cornrows. These are the most popular to learn with minimal skill. So today I'd like to show you a few different ways on how you can braid your hair. First, I'd like to start with the easiest of them all, the classic braid, or known as the plait. So my cameraman is gonna bring it over here. So for the first step, you want to take a hair tie and just section it off into a ponytail. And then you're going to take 3 strands equally, like so, kind of section them off. And you're going to take the rightmost strand and underneath pull it into the middle. And then you're going to take the left strand and pull it now underneath into the middle. And you're going to continue that all the way down. So it'll be rightmost underneath to the middle, leftmost underneath to the middle, rightmost underneath to the middle, leftmost underneath to the middle. And you're going to continue to do this over and over all the way down to the end of the braid. And once you get to the end, you want to just section it off with a rubber band or a hair tie. It doesn't really matter as long as you get it secure. And this is your basic, classic, or known as a plait braid. The next to a more complex braid is the French braid. And even though it's called the French braid, it's not French at all. It was actually originated in North Africa, and it was just associated with the French as their high-class living. So we're going to demonstrate the French braid, and I'm going to switch sides with you. So just like the classic braid, you're going to take a section of the top of the braid, or the top of the head, and you're going to section it off to 3 sections, just like you did the classic braid. Lift your head up just a little bit. There you go. And you have your 3 strands here. So again, instead of going underneath, we're going to go over for the French braid. So you're going to take your rightmost strand and cross it over to the middle, and take your leftmost strand and cross it over to the middle. And we're going to do that about 2 times. That way we have a good solid beginning. And this time we're going to take hair along with it. So you're going to now take this strand and cross it over to the middle with the middle strand. And then you're going to take your leftmost strand and cross it over to the middle. But when you do, you want to hold it with one hand to keep it secure and get you a section of hair like this. And you're going to now cross it over to the middle. And you're gonna keep doing the same thing over and over. So you're gonna take some hair and you're gonna pull it to the middle with the rest of the strand. And then you're gonna take your leftmost strand, pull it over to the middle, add some hair to it, and then cross it to the middle. And the leftmost hair, add some hair, pull it over to the middle, and you're just gonna keep going down and repeating the same thing over and over. And you will eventually start twining your French braid, just like so. And it's not as hard, you just have to practice. It's really not that hard. All you're doing is just taking extra strands until you get to the very end, and you're just connecting them with the middle strand and taking the rightmost strand and then adding hair to it, to the middle side, and then crossing back over. So once you get to the end, you're just gonna continue like with the classic braid, but you're gonna go over instead of under, and you just keep going all the way down. And you can switch your hands up. Whatever feels most comfortable to you is gonna be the easiest way to braid. So when I braid the classic braid under, I like to just braid like this. To finish it off, you wanna take your hair tie, rubber band, it doesn't matter, and you're just gonna section it off to keep it secure. And then this is your French braid. So I'm gonna switch sides with you. Okay, lastly, along with the classic and the French braid that have been around for hundreds of years, we're gonna move on to the cornrow, which is the most popular nowadays and is similar to the French braid and the classic braid, but all you're doing is you're going to take a section of the hair and you're gonna section it off from the front all the way to the back of the hair. And this is where you're gonna connect the hair to the scalp. So just like the French braid, you're gonna take a piece in the front, section it off, and you're gonna have 3 strands once again, but this time instead of going over the strands, you're gonna go under. So you're gonna take your rightmost strand and you're gonna go under and cross it over to the middle, and then you're gonna take your leftmost strand and cross it under over to the middle, and you're gonna do that a couple times to start your braid off. And as you go down, you're gonna start adding. So you can use your thumb to section that piece off, and as I'm adding, I'm grabbing with the middle piece. And you can use your other fingers to section off the hair underneath. Now you're gonna take that rightmost and you're gonna pull it under, and as you pull it under, you're gonna grab hair at the same time. And you continue this process all the way down. So you go leftmost, under, pull your right, under to the middle, leftmost underneath to the middle, and you're grabbing hair at the same time. And it can get a little tricky, especially with longer hair, but as you practice, it becomes extremely easy. Because you're just grabbing extra hair with the strand that you already have in your hand, and you're gonna finish it all the way down to the bottom. And then once you get to the very end of the scalp, down to the neckline, you're just gonna finish with the classic braid. So you can go overhanded, just like the classic braid. You're just gonna go all the way down. And once again, you go leftmost, under to the middle, rightmost, under to the middle, leftmost, under to the middle. All the way down. And then you're gonna tie it at the very end to keep it secure. Okay. So, I've touched base on a little of the history of the braid earlier, but to truly understand the significance of braids, I feel like I should go a little bit deeper. So, still, after slavery had slowly came to an end, it was still considered culturally inappropriate for Black women to wear braids. They lost their jobs and they even banned them. We can be thankful for Sergeant JAZMIN Jacobs, who spearheaded the White House petition to overturn the ban on natural hairstyles in the military. After some time, she won, and it was lifted in January 2017. So as you can see, the history throughout the braiding was not always glamorous, and sure, the style of braiding may have changed, and the patterns have always been the same, and they'll stay the same. So today I hope that I was able to give you a little bit more insight on the technique of braiding and the history of rebraiding. Remember, with a little bit of practice, you can be a skilled braider too. And I will link all of the websites in the description box under this video so you can take a look at them for more in-depth, just everything that I've gone over today in this YouTube channel and for my class. So thank you for listening, and I hope I was able to help you guys again with the history of braiding and just the technique as itself in each French braid, classic braid, and the cornrow.